This is the QTV Nightly News, which is also on Q Radio 103.3 FM, and I am Jul Denjai. Thank you for joining us. Here are the headlines. On Saturday, President Barrow continued his inspection of ongoing road infrastructure projects with a tour of several key road works in the Greater Banjul area and the West Coast region. On Monday, the International Court of Justice opened landmark hearings in the Gambia versus Myanmar case, addressing allegations that Myanmar committed genocide against its Rohingya Muslim minority, with 11 states formally intervening to participate in the proceedings. And President Barrow, who is also the Secretary General and leader of the ruling National People's Party, has expressed strong confidence ahead of the 2026 elections, buoyed by his party's double victory in closely contested by-elections on Saturday in the Lower and West Coast regions. Gambia Tourism Board officials, led by the Minister of Tourism, Arts and Culture, Abdoulaye Diop, conducted site visits on Monday to the construction of a new hotel project and the Bijilo taxi car park along the Senegambia Street. And the Gambia Police Force, in collaboration with sister security services, has intensified efforts to combat irregular migration through a community stakeholders engagement event held in Jinak on Saturday. Those were the headlines, and now the news in detail. Thank you very much for staying with us. If you're just tuning in, this is the QTV Nightly News. On Saturday, President Adama Barrow continued what has become his traditional inspection of ongoing road infrastructure projects with a tour of several key road works in the Greater Banjul area and the West Coast region. Aliou Cisse went with the tour delegation, and he now reports. We apologize for that technical error. Now, the International Court of Justice on Monday opened landmark public hearings in a case brought by the Gambia, accusing Myanmar of committing genocide against its mostly Muslim Rohingya minority. The proceedings concern the application of the Convention on the Prevention and Punishment of the Crime of Genocide, with 11 states intervening in the case. Usman Jatta followed the proceedings, and he now reports.
5th August and 24th September 2017, thousands of Rohingya civilians were killed during Myanmar's military operations in Rakhine State. Medical surveys by international humanitarian organizations estimate that at least 6,700 Rohingya were violently killed in 1 month, including more than 700 children under the age of 5. Overall deaths during that period are believed to exceed 9,000. Addressing the court in The Hague, the Gambia's Attorney General and the Minister of Justice, Dauda A. Jallow, outlined evidence of systematic killings, sexual violence, and the destruction of Rohingya communities.
Sadly, Myanmar appears to be trapped in a cycle of atrocities and impunities. Nobody has been held responsible for the crimes against the Rohingya. Mr. President, while Gambia is the only applicant state, we are not alone in this cause for justice and accountability. Indeed, as the General Assembly stated in 1946, genocide shocks the conscience of mankind and results in great losses to humanity. And this is because our shared humanity is made of various groups protected under the Convention.
The Gambia filed the case at the ICJ in 2019, 2 years after a military crackdown forced more than 750,000 Rohingya to flee Myanmar, most of them to neighboring Bangladesh. Survivors have described mass executions, widespread rape, and the burning of entire villages. In 2022, the court rejected Myanmar's objection and ruled that it had jurisdiction under Article 9 of the Genocide Convention to hear the case. Foley Hug, lead counsel for the Gambia, argued that Myanmar failed to meet its obligations under the Genocide Convention.
Impartial non-governmental organizations and various states, as well as 48 sworn statements from eyewitnesses, all consistent with the conclusions of the fact-finding mission, and all supportive of the Gambia's submission that Myanmar acted with genocidal intent in carrying out its clearance operations against the Rohingya in 2016 and 2017.
A 2018 United Nations fact-finding mission concluded that Myanmar's security forces acted with genocidal intent, stating that everyone was a target, no one was spared. The report documented widespread rape and other forms of sexual violence against women and girls. Myanmar's defense team is led by Christopher Sturker.
Although terrible killings undoubtedly have occurred in this appalling case, it has to be underscored that the other modalities of the actus reus are just as central to the Gambia's case as acts of killing.
The case is the first full genocide trial at the ICJ in more than 2 decades. Legal experts say its outcome could have wider implications for international justice, including other genocide-related cases currently before the court. The hearings are expected to continue for 3 weeks. Osman Jata, QTV News.
Now on to our first story. On Saturday, President Adama Barrow continued what has become his traditional inspection of ongoing road infrastructure projects with a tour of several key road works in the Greater Banjul area and the West Coast region. Aliou Cisse went with the tour delegation and he now reports.
Inspection began at the Sadauda Kairaba Jawara International Conference Center, popularly referred to as the OIC Conference Center, Palmer Johnson section, part of the third phase of the OIC highway. At the site, the contractor has completed the subgrade and sub-base works, while base works and the relocation of utilities are currently ongoing. On the Sukuta Camping to Sukuta Main Mosque Road, President Barrow was welcomed by a large cheering crowd. Residents chanted praises, expressing appreciation for the government's road development efforts. The president later inspected the Sukuta Nemakungu Road linking Tabokoto, where residents lined up the roadside to thank the government for fulfilling long-standing promises to address years of transportation challenges. Other roads inspected include the 4-kilometer Abuko-Wellingara Road connecting Abu C. Johnson to Wellingara Cinema, the 3.2-kilometer Old Yundum Tauto Jabang Highway Road, and the 13-kilometer Jambur Yuna Tujereng Road, which is expected to be completed by March or April this year. The tour continued to the 13-kilometer Jiboro Som Farabasutu Road, where the contractor has completed the removal of topsoil and 1 kilometer of base course. While works outside the communities are at the subgrade and sub-base levels, sections within the communities have already reached sub-base level. President Barrow also inspected the 18-kilometer Gunjur Jambanjeli Road, awarded to Gambian-owned firm Cornerstone Construction, before visiting the completed Bruful Madiana Road, which is awaiting road furniture. Visiting some of the projects for the first time since laying their foundation stones under the government's 365-kilometer nationwide road construction program, the president expressed satisfaction with the overall progress. However, he raised concern about the delays on the Gunjur Jambanjeli Road and assured that he will engage both the contractor and the Ministry of Works to address the issue.
As I said, and I always repeat it, no infrastructure, no development. If you want to develop this country, we have to do our infrastructure. That's why now it is my personal responsibility to make sure that I finish with the electricity. If I finish with electricity, I'll be left with the roads only. So that is my target going forward. But you will see more projects going towards 2027. We are coming to start over 823 kilometers.
Like close to 86.
823,
yes.
And that is government.
Yeah.
Agriculture, they are coming to start 200 kilometers. Very soon you will see me laying the foundation stone before the end of the month, I think. Yes. That is our target period. And also we have World Bank, 150 kilometers. So if you add everything, it will go up to 1,000 plus.
Yes, 1,000.
That's what we're looking at. So we want to make sure that before end of 2031, we will be a middle-income country.
The president's tour concluded at the Banjul port, where significant transformation is undergoing under Alberak, aimed at expanding capacity and improving container handling within a secure terminal.
Your Excellency, your government appears to be over-ambitious in terms of these road projects. I mean, certainly the issue of funding will come to mind. I mean, we know most of these projects are funded from local funds. Are you in any way concerned regarding the funding?
I am not concerned. I am very ambitious. I am very, very aggressive, and I'm very, very confident and very innovative. You know, and this is all because I have been in office for 9 years. Very, very experienced. Because of that experience, I am really confident that we can deliver these projects to the Gambian people. These are social projects, and they make direct impact. I think you've seen the communities, how they responded, you know, to our visit. It's because it is impacting them directly, you know. It is impacting on their life, changing their livelihood. You see the projects that are going there, people are building very, very good houses, houses that are better than pipeline. It's because of that. When I entered Brufut today, I felt something else. I was very, very happy. The way Brufut is. Brufut is just like Dubai. Believe me. So this is development for you.
Reacting to the road projects, Umar Sise, president of the Gambia Transport Union, noted that improved roadworks will ease the movement of people and goods across the country.
I believe so. This is one of the most important things in terms of our national development, infrastructure developments. So some of those areas before going there is going to be a 9-mile journey, particularly in rainy season. But most of the people started enjoying the current state of the road. So after completion of the road, I think it's going to boost their economy. It's going to, help their livelihood and also connect them with the other part of the country.
It is hoped that the president will continue embarking on similar visits to gather first-hand information to better guide his decision-making. Reporting for QTV News, I am Aliou Cissé.
President Adama Barrow, who doubles as the Secretary General and leader of the ruling National People's Party, has expressed strong confidence ahead of the 2026 elections following his party's double victory in tightly contested by-elections on Saturday in Bantajang Ward, Fonyi in the West Coast region and Kayav Ward in Kiang East, Lower River region. Aliou Cissé reports.
The official results certified and announced by the Independent Electoral Commission. In the Kayaf Ward by-election, NPP candidate Umar Toure secured 1,127 votes, defeating the United Democratic Party Suleiman Sane, who got 895 votes. In Bantajang Ward, where 3 candidates contested the seat, NPP's Abdoulaye Badji emerged victorious with 402 votes. Independent candidate Bagari M. Manga followed closely with 397 votes, while Alhaji Njai came third with 155 votes. Speaking to journalists shortly after touring ongoing development projects, President Barrow described the by-election outcomes as a referendum between the NPP and the opposition.
Away from the visit, double victory for the NPP today, how do you react as the party leader?
Well, I think it's a referendum. It's a referendum for us and the opposition. This thing, there's a history repeat itself. There was a referendum also with the by-election in Nyamina and Jokado. And we won both seats. Same thing is repeating. So I think we are very confident going towards 2026. I think we will do the same thing, or more. Thank you.
The winners will represent their wards at both the Master Congo Area Council and Brikama Area Council, where they will be expected to advocate for their people. Reporting for QTV News, I am Aliou Cissé.
We will now go for a commercial break. When we return, we have more local news stories for you. Do stay tuned.
With what is on your plates. That is why the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations, FAO, and the Ministry of Health have partnered to develop the food-based dietary guidelines to help us meet our nutritional needs, promote health, and prevent disease. Want to boost your health? Add more legumes and nuts to your daily meals. The FAO and the Ministry of Health recommend eating 3 servings every day. Before cooking, sort out any stones or spoiled beans. And remember, do not peel your beans. Cooking them thoroughly reduces any gas-producing effects. Roast or boil nuts well before enjoying them. They are packed with nutrients that support a healthy lifestyle. Make legumes and nuts a part of your daily diet for energy, health, and a balanced meal. Eat legumes and nuts daily. Follow the food-based dietary guidelines for a healthier Gambia.
Agriculture is the backbone of the Gambia's economy. And now, it is time for young people to lead the change. UNDP The Gambia, through the JSB 2024 project, with support from the government of Japan, is calling on young women and men aged 18 to 35 in the Lower River and West Coast regions to apply for the Youth Agri-Innovation Challenge. If you have an innovative climate-smart agricultural idea, this is your chance to pitch it. 20 youth innovators will be selected and 2 winners will receive $15,000 each to grow their ideas. Selected participants will benefit from training, mentorship, and visibility. Apply now and help reimagine agriculture as a modern and profitable business for youth. Visit UNDP The Gambia social media pages for more information.
Welcome back, and this is QTV News. Now to the rest of our stories. Gambia Tourism Board officials, led by the Minister of Tourism, Arts and Culture, Abdoulaye Diop, conducted site visits on Monday to the construction of a new hotel project and the Bijilo taxi car park along the Senegambia Strip. The visit aimed to assess progress, engage stakeholders and highlight the role of infrastructure development in strengthening the Gambia's tourism sector. Lolly M. Kamara was with the team and she now reports.
Products such as accommodation facilities, attractions and unique visitor experiences play a critical role in attracting tourists to any destination. Without well-developed products and effective marketing, destinations may struggle to remain competitive. This visit therefore underscores the importance of infrastructure development in positioning the Gambia as a preferred tourism destination and boosting the local economy. The tour began with a brief presentation at the construction site where officials and project managers outlined their respective roles, expectations and timeliness ahead of completion. Here is the Honorable Minister Abdoulaye Diop.
They've gone through a process, got the necessary approvals, and since then they have not waited for anything. They have just hit the road running and doing a lot of work to build the first sustainable hotel in the Gambia, okay, which is going to be a 5-star hotel. So the purpose of coming here today is just to interact with them, see what they are doing with the team, and listen to them about some of the challenges, the difficulties that they are facing, and we see how we address them.
The hotel, to be known as the Summer Hotel, will feature 10 floors, a presidential suite, a restaurant, and a wellness center, among other modern facilities. Ali Areski is the resident manager of the Areski Company, the firm overseeing the project.
We are proud to offer the Gambia what we also receive from the Gambia by developing whatever we can do for the Gambia and the Gambians. And this is a big opportunity also for employment, because over 100 and something persons will be employed for you. And this, I think, as Honorable Minister said, would transform the image of the Gambian hotelier sector.
The delegation later heard from Ida Jengjai, the newly appointed Director General of the Gambia Tourism Board, who spoke on the strategic importance of such developments in enhancing the Gambia's tourism offerings.
This is in line with the government, with the ministry's policy, and also the Gambia Tourism Board's strategy to ensure that we attract high spenders into the destination so that everybody benefits as a country. We would love to see this such a product up country as well.
The tour continued to the Bijilo taxi car park, where the Honorable Minister interacted with taxi drivers to better understand their concerns and operational challenges. Yusufa Cham, Secretary General, shared some of the difficulties they face in their daily work.
Our main issue is the lack of a toilet facility. Currently, we can only go to our neighbors, and during the rainy season, the place is full of water, and it's not easy to park our cars.
Responding to concerns raised, Minister Job assured the drivers of the government's commitment to addressing their challenges as part of a broader effort to improve the tourism value chain. The visit concluded with officials emphasizing that investments in modern infrastructure such as Sama Hotel are key to showcasing the Gambia's beauty, culture and diversity to potential visitors, while also creating opportunities for local businesses and communities. For QTV News, Loli M. Kamara.
Now, the Gambia Police Force, in collaboration with sister security services, has intensified efforts to combat irregular migration through a community stakeholders engagement held in Jinak on Saturday, reaffirming its commitment to saving lives, upholding the rule of law and restoring public confidence. Babukar Sise tells us more.
Joint security engagement followed the tragic capsizing of a migrant boat near Jinak on December 31st, which resulted in confirmed fatalities exceeding 20, including 16 bodies recovered from Senegalese waters. The meeting brought together representatives from the Gambia Police Force, the State Intelligence Services, the Gambia Immigration Department, the Drug Law Enforcement Agency, and the Gambia Fire and Rescue Service, alongside community stakeholders. Security forces first stormed Jinak on January 6, 2026, arresting suspects believed to be harboring and facilitating irregular migration. Under Operation Restore Confidence, authorities engaged community elders, youth representatives, women leaders, religious figures, and local authorities in dialogue on the security, social, and humanitarian impacts of irregular migration. The operation builds on the Gambia Immigration Department's Operation Zero Departure, launched on 9th January, targeting the affected areas. According to the Gambia Police Force, Jinak has increasingly been used as a route for irregular migration to Europe, often by foreign nationals who exploit local communities for personal gain. Security representatives clarified that recent interventions were not intended to target communities, but to dismantle criminal networks that profit from irregular migration. Representatives from the Drug Law Enforcement Agency said that investigations revealed that some boats carried up to 200 migrants, each paying at least $50,000. Such operations, they said, turn organizers into millionaires at the expense of vulnerable youths and affected communities. Officials from the Gambia Immigration Department highlighted the dangers of undocumented migration and called on villagers to account for strangers within their communities while urging foreign nationals to regularize their status through lawful processes. Security agencies also addressed concerns surrounding the arrest of 9 natives of the North Bank region linked to the incident, confirming that their cases are currently before the courts. In response, community leaders welcomed the engagement and pledged the community's commitment to working closely with authorities. The meeting concluded with a shared commitment between security agencies and the Jinak communities to strengthen cooperation and information sharing, rejecting irregular migration and related crimes, uphold the rule of law, and protect lives while preserving peace and stability. Babukar Sise, QTV News.
The report there by Babukar Sise brings us to the end of this news bulletin. Do join us again at 10 p.m. for another news bulletin. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching.